Hey everyone, it's Jordan again. I am the developer and creator of Red Dot Games and Fargone by extension. Haven't done one of these for a while, these little deep dive videos, if that's what we should call them. I haven't done a very deep dive video, but I did one for patch 0.3, which came out earlier this year, which was the big rework. And we have another update due, Homesteader, which is the next really big update, and I wanted to go through some of the cool stuff that's coming with this update. If you've been following the game at all, you'll know that this is going to be a base building focus update with lots of other little things sprinkled in, because I can't ever just do one thing and end up getting carried away and doing all kinds of stuff. So there's tons of stuff in this update, but this particular video is just going to be focusing on the new base building. You've probably already seen two things that are new if you're a keen-eyed person. The first one is there are these new wandering traders who basically specialize in selling base part stuff. The material on his backpack's a bit dark, we need to get that sorted, but these guys wander around and they will supply base parts and all sorts of things. This guy's currently set to not go roaming, just for the purposes of testing for this video, and also his eyes have kind of he has got eyes. The other thing is this new reworked M4 model. A couple of the guns are getting brand new models with this update. The M4 and the M16 are the two that we're going to be starting with. All these models are done by Sadlife in Discord. If you're in the Discord, you'll 100% know who that is. He's done all the base building assets, all the new guns. He does everything 3D he does. We don't use any asset packs now at all. Anyway, let's go into the inventory. You can see that there's a ton of placeholder icons here. Obviously not ready for release. I always do icons last just because it takes like half a day just to get them done, just knock them all out at the end. But if we go through some of these icons, you'll see in the description it says requires a hammer to place. That is a new item here with a lovely placeholder icon, the building hammer. If you actually double click on this, it now brings up this new build menu. Again, please ignore all the icons, everything is placeholder. This stands for structure, furniture, something I've forgotten. There's power, lights, and something. I have icons for all of these. I'll have to go back to do them all at some point. Well, obviously before release would be ideal. But that's obviously the new building menu, and this is where you will go now to do all of the base building stuff. Okay, so doing a little jump cut, I found a nice little area in the back of the mountains where we can do some base building. Also, ignore the fact that I'm massively overweight because I've just added an absolute ton of items without even paying attention to weight. But if we go into base building, the first thing you will see is if you try and place something, it will say that a base computer is required before placing this item. Now, there's a very good reason for this, and some people might mention that they'd like being able to place stuff freely wherever. You can still do that, you just need to do a base computer first. The reason for that is because I've added so many new systems and things that need to be tracked, and I need to know specifically where a player base is to be able to do those things. For instance, zombie invasions, NPCs invading, the wandering trader coming to visit your base, all these things kind of rely on me having to know a central point in the world where your base is so that I can actually trigger those events. But as well as that, the base computer allows you to rename it, so you can have multiple base computers around the world and you can keep track of which base is which by renaming them. It also adds a fast travel location to the map, so if you find a runner and you want to pay for a fast travel service, you can get them to take you to your different bases. It also allows for setting up supply routes, so you can have the wandering trader can go to a allied faction like Sal at Runner's Village, or he can go to the military guys if you're friends with them, if you're a member of them, and he can bring back supplies to your bases via supply routes that you can set up, and all of this is handled through the base computer. The base computer also handles the new power grid system, which might be the most complicated thing I've ever developed in a game ever. It has taken me so much time to get the power grid system working, and that also all runs off the base computer. So let's place one of those to get this going. So the base computer is there, you select that, close down, and at the bottom is showing the placeholder icon, but normally you would see the icon for the base part that you've got. I should probably turn off my flashlight, that's a bit blinding. I'm going to place that just there for now. See, bear in mind, I'm not trying to make anything fancy here, this is just for showcase purposes, so if it's floating, it's all good. So these two buttons are currently disabled just for I'm still working on these things. A lot of the background systems are done, it's just bringing it all to the user interface so that players can actually interact with it. Renaming bases is very much there, so we'll just call this my base. We'll call this no block is an inventory. Well, there's a little bug. Call it mountain base. Enter, and if you leave and come back, it will pop up in the bottom left saying like mountain base entered. Like the same way if you enter another area in the map, you get the little pop-up saying that you've entered a location. It will do the same thing for your base as well now, which is a nice little touch, so it just makes you feel like you've come home. This also handles performance as well, so when you leave the area, it will, cull and unload lots of assets, because obviously with the base building update, people are going to be making much bigger and more grander sort of things as opposed to the previous system. There's lots more parts that are being placed and tracked, so obviously for performance reasons, we've got to keep that tracked and considered. Now, let's get into the fun stuff. Placeholder icons are going to make this a bloody nightmare. Okay, so first things first, we've got this nice foundation. Again, all of this is custom assets by Sad Life. He has done a phenomenal job just making tons and tons of assets to make this update really work. I mean, already you can see the first two features, obviously snap building. To get this to work, all you do is you aim at a part that you want to snap to, and it will show you the available snap points. Do bear in mind there's a couple of little quirks like some flickering and stuff. This is obviously still being polished, and a lot of polish will come right before the update is finished. There's a few things I need to do functionality wise, but it's very intuitive. It snaps nice and easy. We can just place down some foundations. I'll place a little extra bit for a door, and maybe we do a bit over here. There's like a little bedroom that we'll add to the side, and there we go. Perfectly used all of my foundation pieces. We do also have a couple of different unique kind of shapes and sizes, so you can get a little bit creative if you want to. I'm not the most creative with this stuff, but it's obviously about giving you guys the tools to be able to do that stuff. Also, you will be able to remove and destroy things, although I haven't quite finished that yet. But so for the purposes of this video, you won't be able to see that, but you will be able to pick things up, remove them, and get the items back. So if you make a mistake or whatever, because you can't do that in the current system. The current system isn't really a building system; it's just placing a few items. Okay, so let's move on and add a door. Nope, not a door, sorry, a doorway, and I just closed that down by mistake. Please bear in mind, I am not a recorder or a game streamer or whatever. This isn't what I do. Right, let's throw the door down there. Everything, again, snaps really nicely. We'll add a... This will be so much easier when there's not placeholder icons. Let's get a window there as well. And now we will see. Okay, there's some flickering there and stuff. That's little bits that we're going to work on. So we'll get that all cleaned up before the release. But all that stuff's nice and simple compared to the actual work of getting this update finished. This update has been crazy intense. The amount of work in terms of scripts and things to get this to work was a lot more than I anticipated. I didn't realize how complex building systems can get. But I'm just going to go through and build a couple of nice things. Ignore the fact that I'm not really paying attention to trying to build anything particularly nice here. It's more just keep closing that down for some reason. It's more just a showcase of exactly what you can do with this and how powerful it is compared to the current system. Let's go down some more windows. Eventually I'll be also adding a button to, well, not eventually, before the update releases, I'll be adding the option to hold Alt, where you can go into free placement. So if you want to place something freely and ignore the snap rules, you can. That's already almost finished, just need to do a couple of small bits. But we've already got ourselves a nice little, the outline of a base or a house here. A little bit of a gap there, we'll work on some snaps, or maybe add some pillars and things. But this is already far more than you can do in the current system, and we're only just sort of scratching the surface. Let's get some windows in as well, because it's cold, although there's not actually a temperature in the game yet. Something to look at adding in the future, but still, let's make this nice and cozy. That's what it's all about. It's coziness in a cold place. Let's add a door as well. Now we're starting to get ourselves a nice little base. Please say I've given myself a ceiling. I have. I don't know if I've got enough here to make this work, but we'll give it a good go. See if we can... I think we're going to run out of... Yeah, we're going to run out. Okay, we'll just consider this a very, very crappy skylight. But you get the idea. You'd obviously buy more parts. What else have we got? Oh, also, so all these things are interactable as well. That's another thing. It's not just, visual. Or obviously the door's interactable. You need to get in and out. But, all the windows and things can be open and closed. Something that's new as well with this update is... I suppose I haven't fixed the flipping gun animation. I know that's been brought up so many times. I am going to get that fixed. But something that's also new with this is all these objects save their state now. So like in the current system, if you place a door and you open it, save and reload the game, the door will be closed when you load the game back up. That no longer happens. All these windows and doors will persist, lights will persist, and generators and things, which we'll get to in a minute. That's all new, the power system. But they will all persist when you save and load. So it maintains exactly how it was when you're coming and going. It's just a nice little thing, makes it a bit more, I don't know, fluid, I guess would be the word. I just realised we probably need some stairs. If I have some steps, there we go. Let's get some steps there as well, so we can actually get in it without jumping. And now we've got ourselves, well, except for this little thing, we've got ourselves a base. Do I actually have any metal roofs? Hold on. I might be able to cover it a little bit with the roof. This is not the way to go when it comes to doing this. I actually can't reach that bit. There's some snap points missing for these ceilings. So you know what? I made it worse, but it's okay because we're doing this for demo purposes. Okay, so we've also got some furniture, which I'm going to look at. These, I've only given myself like a very basic number of bits of furniture. So there's loads of different things that are going to be coming with this update, but for now we're just doing some basic things. And not all of these are craftable as well. The idea is to make some rare lootable objects that you can obviously find in the world. Something I've had way too much fun with is making different types of rugs. There's a couple of rare ones which are super rare, which you can't get other than by looting them out in the world. It's just cool stuff like that. But you can craft some basic rugs, and if you're lucky, you loot some rare ones. Probably need to work on that material a little bit. It's quite dark. But if we go back into here, we can also place down, these are more rugs. But again, I apologize about the placeholder stuff because it makes it difficult for me to know exactly what I'm looking at. We can place down some new furniture, get some chairs. Again, just throwing this all together for demonstration purposes. This really isn't a showcase of making something nice. Another table there. I don't know. A desk that looks out to the window. That sounds nice. Do we have any more chairs? And one more chair. Okay, I'll place that there. Don't think I've given myself a bed, which I really should have done. Yeah, so there's obviously beds, sofas, plant pots, all sorts of things you can place to kind of make your base much better. Some of the screenshots for the patrons, which I will also be releasing to Steam as a post soon, will showcase better the amount of different furniture options there are. But probably time to get onto what is going to be, I don't know if it's my favourite feature, but it's definitely the most complex one that I've been working on. That's the power grid system. So you've got some generators in my inventory here, tier 1. They go from tier 1 to 3. Different tiers obviously have higher capacity, can power more stuff without having to be refueled or whatever. So let's just place down a tier 1 generator because I haven't actually got the other ones. You can see on the side that little metal node, that is basically where you're going to connect all the cables to. That's something you're going to have to do with this. You're going to have to connect power cables to all your devices. It sounds like I'm charging a phone. All your lights and power sources or power drawing objects, I guess. You're going to have to connect those up, and that's kind of keeping with the style of wanting this to feel grounded and realistic, because as I've said numerous times, I didn't want this system in the first place, or like when I made the game I didn't want to make a system like this because I was worried about people making giant mansions or whatever, and it just feeling out of place for a survival game. Whereas, so I've now kind of decided that this feature is actually awesome, and I really am glad we've got it, but I still want to try and keep it nice and grounded so that it feels like you're survival game, because that's very important to me. So let's place this down, and before we do anything or connect anything, we'll just have a quick look at the usages for it. I have a feeling there's a missing texture at the front, or it's just very dark. Oh, it's very dark. Okay, we need to look at that. The texture just vanishes. Right, so we click on this, you can see we've got fuel, which is current amount of fuel on the generator, and the current usage. So we've got 0 litres being used, 0 fuel in there, so currently it's doing nothing. The more stuff you connect, it will also show you exactly how much litres of fuel per hour it's using. I apologise if you're not from the UK and you're used to gallons or whatever, but over here litres is a common metric, so that's kind of what I've gone with, what I know. So let's add a light. I've only got floodlights at the moment, but again there are tons and tons of different power sources. Not sources, power using items, I guess. So let's place one down there. One over there, and one facing out the back. Oh, got another one. Okay, I want that too. How many do I have? Jesus, 5. Okay, there we go. So, first things first. Before we connect anything up, you're going to need to obviously refuel generators. And there's a new item, also using a placeholder icon. Fantastic, because I don't know which it's using a zombie arm. Of course. Why would it? Why would the jerry can use anything other than a zombie arm? Yeah, so that's obviously a new item, and you're about to see a lovely placeholder animation. This is just the animation for refilling your water canteen at a well, but without the water canteen. So that's why it says water now refilled. However, it's done what it's supposed to do, which it has filled up this generator. We've got 20 litres of fuel in there. If we turn it on, we are away, although we're not actually powering anything, so currently it doesn't matter. So let's go into building, power, grab some power cables. Not sure what the final product is going to look like in terms of maybe an animation for this, but for now it just gives you a little icon of a power cable, and it will snap to power nodes. There are also manual power nodes you can place, so you can have like a power node on the ceiling here if you want to make the cables neat, so you can go like that. But for this little video, this demonstration, we're just gonna click on there, and you can see we've got a cable that is going to snap to other points. So that is now powered up. There should have been a little like electrical spark effect. It's very minor, but I think I must have forgotten to add that in this build, but there's some nice visual feedback normally when you connect up a power cable. But if we now turn this on, you will see it is using 1.3 litres of fuel per hour, and there is light. Turn that off, it will go back to 0 because it's not currently on, and the light is off. Already see that it started to calculate, and this does calculate while you're away from the base as well. So if you leave stuff running and you head out and come back, it will all be drained. Some people might find that like a bit of an annoying management thing, but the idea is to keep this realistic. The base isn't supposed to be something that keeps you safe from everything like all the time. You got to work and keep it maintained. Everything can be damaged and destroyed as well. Zombies will invade, attack things, and destroy things. Bandits will invade and attack things and whatnot. So yeah, I don't want people to be able to just build something and live inside it, and that's the game done. This is meant to be a core pillar of the game, so it's going to require time and effort to loot different rare things you want to decorate the places with, or maintaining things, upgrading things, keeping generators fueled up and running, all that good stuff. I want it to feel like an actual part of the game, not just something you do once and then done, base complete. So yeah, there are elements to that. That's obviously one of the reasons I came up with the zombie invasion and bandit invasion stuff, to keep it all, I don't know, just keep it as part of an ongoing part of the game, basically. So here's where the grid system is really cool, and this is what's taking me so much time. So you can just do multiple links like this. So I can create another link, and then we've got that light now powered on as well. Or you can piggyback. So we can go from there to there, and that is now also all done. If we go onto here, you will now see it's using 3.9 litres per hour, because each of these uses 1.3 litres per hour, and these are actually called inefficient floodlights for a reason. They use a lot of fuel. You can loot or buy higher quality items which are rare and hard to find, but they might be more efficient. You can obviously get bigger generators. There are options to make things a bit easier to maintain for your base, but currently I'm showing you like early game building. That's why there's not many decorations. Base building is shit, to be honest. That's not, don't build that, that's bad. But yeah, this is just showcasing what you can do with it. And again, we can just piggyback this all the way down. So there. Normally it will automatically get you another power cable if you have one ready, but because I'm in debug mode right now, it's not actually using the item that I'm, it's not using one cable per link, just because I don't want to run out of them if I was, for this demonstration. But we can now see that all of those are powered up from this generator. The generator is currently using 6.5 litres per hour, so we're actually burning through that fuel at a reasonable rate. Turn that off, and you can see that everything is now off. No more power, no more lights, just scary darkness. Well, actually, it's the middle of the day, so no scary darkness. Turn back on, 6.5 litres. Yeah, so that is, I'm showing you a very simple version right now because these are just one type of light, one generator, but there are lots of different lights, powered items. There'll be more coming in the future. Again, because this is going to be a core pillar of the game going forward, there'll be lots of expansions to the system as we move forward, obviously depending on how much people like it as well. So obviously, one of the cool things of early access is making changes based on player feedback and making sure you guys are as involved as possible when it comes to new updates. But personally, I absolutely love this feature. I think it's amazing, and I've put a lot of work into it to make it something more than just a gimmick. I didn't want it to be just, I'm not saying that simple base building is a gimmick, but I wanted this to be like a really big part of the game. Do it right, basically. I didn't want just to throw it in the game. I'll show you really quickly that obviously everything can be destroyed. Bear in mind the destruction effect is incredibly placeholder. Let's just... So there's a little puff of smoke. I've just thrown it in to indicate that something's been destroyed. I have actually got plans to make it split into chunks and sort of, not full on destruction because it's kind of like a fake effect, but just something a bit nicer. Obviously, everything can be destroyed, so if you've got bandits who are invading your base and attacking you, or you've got zombies coming in, you can get yourselves into a bit of a fight that can damage your base, and then you have to repair it. All that's coming soon in terms of in here you'll be able to destroy, move, replace, or repair stuff as well. That's kind of being finished up now. But yeah, overall the cool stuff is done, which is good because that's the stuff that kind of has slowed down development on new updates because this has taken so much work, but we're through that now. So this update is in full swing and hopefully should be out in a couple of weeks is the target really. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this. I don't know if it's a deep dive video or I don't know how long it's going to be. I've kind of been just going with it, but just going through what's coming. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you do want to see like more videos like this, then let me know. Obviously time is difficult for me because I have a full-time job and I also work on the game. Pretty much it's like having two full-time jobs really because I spend so much time working on the game, but it does not leave a lot of room for other stuff around that. But I will do my best if this is something that you guys enjoy, because I do enjoy kind of touching base with the community or you guys and showing what's being worked on. Beta testers and Patreons, this will be coming to you a bit sooner in terms of like a test version, so you can get your hands on this earlier. Not saying that it's not early access, it will just be a test, it won't be everything. So if you want to wait for the full release, you're not going to be missing out on anything. You'll just get the more polished version. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I can't wait to get you guys involved with this update, and yeah, I'll speak to you soon.